Hello, and thank you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City, brought to you by the Brewery Arts Center. I'm Cortney Bloomer, and I'm here with this week's guest, Rachelle Resnick from the Proscenium Players. Welcome, Rachelle.
Thank you.
Rachelle, you are here because the Proscenium Players are about to put on another production of Harvey. People might not be familiar with the group, although they are one of the oldest theater groups in Nevada. Tell us a little bit about the Proscenium Players.
Well, as you said, they're one of the oldest groups in Nevada. They're actually the second oldest continuing playing group. They've been around for over 50 years. And we do a couple of shows a year. As you said, our next show is Harvey, and that opens on April 22nd. And it runs April 22nd and also the weekend of April 29th.
All right, and it is coming right up, and you have a very special role in that particular production. You're directing.
Yes, my first time directing.
All right. So as the director, a lot goes into the process, of course, of putting on a production. What made you choose Harvey as your first show to direct?
Well, it's funny you should ask that. We were looking for a show that we thought would appeal to a lot of the community because we really want everyone to come and see the show. And Harvey is a very gentle comedy. It's not going to split your sides laughing, but you're going to walk out feeling very good about the show. And it is one of those that I think everyone can be a little bit familiar with. It speaks to the child inside of all of us. And a lot of people might be familiar with the movie Harvey.
Right, with Jimmy Stewart.
With Jimmy Stewart, exactly. And this show is very similar to the movie, so it's going to ring familiar to a lot of people too.
All right, and Jimmy Stewart was, of course, nominated for an Oscar for that performance. Who's going to be playing that role here?
Oh, Jody Pazloff is going to be there. He's been in several PPI productions, fabulous actor. And also, you may not be aware that the person who played his sister, Vita, won an Academy Award. And that is being played by Sheila Steele, who does a lot of work, especially out in Dayton.
All right. So for people who haven't seen the movie or maybe aren't familiar with the play, give us just a brief synopsis of the story of Harvey.
Sure. Well,
Harvey actually isn't even in the show, really, but
right. He's the title character, but he's not really there, although he may very well be there, because Harvey is a puka, and a puka is a playful spirit, and he only appears to certain people in the show. He is Elwood, Jody's best friend. And for those who see the rabbit, you know, everything seems sort of normal, but for those who don't see the rabbit, Elwood comes off as kind of a kook.
Right, and so Harvey is the rabbit.
Harvey is the rabbit.
Now, this show has like you said, it's a little bit humorous and has a couple of twists and turns. Just give us a brief synopsis of what happens.
Well, without giving too much away.
Right, don't spoil it, but yeah, what happens?
Well, what happens is Harvey's the invisible rabbit. He lives with Elwood, and Elwood lives with his sister Vita and Vita's daughter Myrtle. And Myrtle is at the age, this is all set in the 1940s, where she needs to find a man. And so they start off with this big party, Vita and Myrtle, to try to introduce her and try to find a man for her. And they're afraid that if the ladies in the society realize that their relative Elwood has this best invisible friend, that no decent man is going to want to marry Myrtle.
Right, they might think that's a little weird.
Right. And of course what happens, Elwood comes in, he introduces everyone to Harvey, and things disintegrate from there. So Vita decides that Elwood really needs to just get some mental help and goes to a mental institution outside of town to try to commit Elwood. And things just unravel from
Right, so we won't tell anybody anything else because we don't want to ruin the story, but you can imagine that hilarity ensues.
Exactly.
What has been your favorite part of your directorial debut so far?
Well, I love working with this cast. They are so much fun, they're dedicated, they're going to do a great job. And that by far is my favorite part.
All right, and what has been the most challenging thing for you so far?
Well, in addition to directing, I'm also doing a lot of the production parts of it. And so it's been a little bit of a juggling act because I'm just one person. But it's all coming together. So I'm really excited. I hope a lot of people come to see it.
All right, and we hope a lot of people come to see it too. So let's give them some of those details about when and where and how they can get tickets.
Sure. It's at the Black Box Theater.
At the Brewery Arts Center.
At the Brewery Arts Center. It is Friday and Saturday nights at 7, so that's April 22nd, 23rd, 29th, and 30th. And then we also have Sunday matinees, so that would be the 24th of April and May 1st, and those are at 2. And they can get tickets by going to the Brewery Arts Center website, breweryarts.org.
All right, and for people who are maybe new to theater or haven't, really been supporters of the arts in Carson City, what would you say to encourage them to go and check this out?
This is one of those shows that you're going to remember, and it's going to touch your heart. And it's and if you just want to relax and have a good afternoon or evening, this is a great show to get started.
And it's appropriate for all ages. People can feel free to bring their children to this show.
Yes, it's age appropriate. Although younger children might get bored because the rabbit is invisible.
Right. Invisible rabbit.
Right.
But the storyline is like you said, a heartfelt one, and it's a lovely production. And again, that's taking place at the Black Box Theater at the Brewery Arts Center. And you can get more information about the show and ordering tickets on the Brewery Arts Center's website.
Yes.
And also you can learn more about the Proscenium Players by visiting their website as well. So what do you think is coming up in the future? Are you going to direct another one?
Well, I don't know. I actually just finished California Suite in Minden, and now I'm doing Harvey, so I might take a little bit of a break.
A little bit of a break. Well, Rachelle, thank you so much for being here. Break a leg to you and your cast. Everybody go check out Harvey at the Black Box Theater at the Brewery Arts Center the 2 weekends in April, the weekend of the 22nd and the 29th. Thank you for being here, Rachelle.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right, and thanks to all of you for joining us for this week's edition of It's Your City. If you'd like to sponsor a future edition of It's Your City, please contact Darla at the address shown on your screen. I'm Cortney Bloomer. We'll see you next week.